Again, happy Thursday, guys. Happy Thursday. Do you feel like this kind of horn? Or do you feel like this kind of horn this morning? Or do you feel like this kind of horn this morning? Which horn are you? Are you? Are you? Or are you? A little bit of all three. Okay. I'm the first one. I try to be the first one, even though I do have a bunch of stuff in my life and like there is things going on. I try to, I have a good time with you guys, even though I'm staring at a bunch of triangles and no faces. Like I had a meeting yesterday with Humanitas Club. Oh yeah, speaking of Humanitas Club, we're gonna be having a Humanitas, like that ceremony we have when we go to the auditorium and they pass out all the GPA awards and stuff. We're gonna do that virtually, and we're actually gonna have gift cards and stuff. So if you had a good GPA this last semester, we're going to randomly give out gift cards and have videos and have messages from teachers. And then we're asking for students. So I will have a place you can send messages if you want to actually do a message to your teachers. We're planning all that. So it was nice, though, to have a meeting and actually see faces. And it was nice. Like, wow, I feel like an actual teacher again. Yes, I wish we were in actual class, but it's not safe to do that right now. But yeah. But we should plan. Maybe next week. You guys down for next week? Turning on our cameras. And you don't have to have it on your face if you're too shy to put it on your face, because that's what a lot of people are saying. Maybe you can put it on the side, and then you can put up your hand. So I can just maybe like you put it like this, right? And then you put a thumbs up or something, and I just see your hand. I don't know. But yeah, let's do a camera day. Let's try to do a camera day once a week. All right. I'm going to do a vote. We'll do a vote on which day you want to do camera day. And that'll be our weekly camera day. I say Fridays. That's what I say, Fridays. Because Fridays are these kind of days, right? Right. All right. So let's start. So I don't know if you noticed, but your warm up was just number 2 and 3, just number 2 and 3 in your notes. Oh my God, my brain just went okay. I forgot in your notes, right? We were talking about yesterday. So we were talking about standard form. So really quick, let's do a little recap. Monomials are just one term, right? So when we talk about monomials, mono means one, and so monomials is just one term, and one term just means it's a number, a variable, or a product. We can have a product. A product sticks numbers and variables together. Okay? Not adding, not subtracting, not dividing. There's a possibility of hybrid learning. Yes, but we still had 6,000 new cases last week. And if we're still in purple, and then the other thing is about hybrid learning. Okay, someone said this in the chat. Another thing about hybrid learning, though, is LAUSD had a new requirement that all students need to be vaccinated before they go to school. And there's not a vaccine for all of you. Right? One of the vaccines, it goes down to 16. So it might be for people who are vaccinated, kids who are vaccinated and 16 and over. So yeah, but we have to be in the purple tier for 3 weeks, and then they'll start thinking about it. So we're still clearly in the red tier, and the deaths are still doing this, right? So yeah, but the cases are going down. We had about 6,000 cases yesterday, from what I saw in LA County. But LA County is like the hot spot for the country right now. So, but they are going down. You're right. But I will keep you informed. So monomial is one term. Polynomials means many terms. So a polynomial is just a bunch of monomials stuck together with pluses or minuses. Okay, the sum or difference of many monomials. And the highest exponent you have is the degree. Now, somebody said, Mister, what if you had something like this? What if you had x, oh my gosh. There you go. What if you had x to the third, y to the second? Well, the degree of that would be 5 because you just put them together. Usually we just have one variable, but sometimes you'll have variables like that, x cubed, y squared. That's a 5th degree polynomial. You do add them together. So that monomial has a degree of 5. Okay. But you do the highest exponent of a polynomial is called a degree. And standard form is you put it in order. This is what I said. You put it in order from highest exponent of the variable. So highest exponent all the way down to lowest. And your last term, if you have any just numbers by themselves, the last term should be the constant. It should be the number. And I did say if you had multiple variables, if you had a bunch of variables in your polynomial, go in alphabetical order. So if we look here, if we look here, number 2, we have A's and B's. A's and B's. So which one takes preference? Which one are we going to put first? Which one are the ones we're going to go from highest to lowest? We're going to choose A's or B's. What do you think? Which one takes preference? Which one is like the leader of this polynomial? Which variable? A. Again, because we go in alphabetical order. So if I'm doing A, let's look at all the A's and go from the highest A exponent to the lowest A exponent. And then B will come along for the ride. That's the secondary one, right? When there's no more A's left, then we look at B's. So what's the highest A? That one. So that's 4A cubed. So that's the first one we put because that's the highest A. What's the second highest A? Over here. A to the second. So plus, because that's a positive, 18A squared, B squared. Okay. What's the third highest A exponent? Uh-oh, someone said, isn't it 18? Isn't what 18? No, we're looking. Yes, I understand that. So this is the question. Mister, isn't this one first? Because this is a 2 and that's a 2. And you just said, mister, you just said that we add these together to get the degree. So wouldn't we put this first? That is correct. That is a higher degree. But, and I know this is confusing. Standard form is highest exponent to lowest exponent, right? Highest exponent to lowest exponent. So when we're doing that, we just look at the variable and we start with the alphabetical order. Okay. If you want to do it by degrees, you can. We'll do that. There really is no, I mean, we just put it in standard form just for convenience, just so they all look the same. But if you want to put in degree order, you can do that. But standard form is highest exponent to lowest exponent. And then if there's multiple exponents, you look at the alphabetical order, and the top alphabet letter, the top letter takes precedent. So that's a good question though. So that's gone. So the next A, what's the next highest A? Right here, plus 7AB, plus 7AB. And then there's no more A's. So now we look at the B's, and then there's minus B squared. Okay. Now this is standard form. Now if you want to do degree form, if you want to look at each monomial's degree, this is the 4th degree. So that's the highest degree right here. The next highest degree would be this. The next highest degree would be this, right? 7AB, because A has 1 and B has 1, so that's a degree of 2. But it's also tied with this one. That has a degree of 2. So this is by degree, but we usually don't do it this way. But if you wanted to put in order by degree, that's how we would do it. These are tied, so you can switch them up if you wanted to. They both have a degree of 2. But that's not how we do standard form. Standard form is you look at the highest, you go the highest exponent to the next highest, to the next highest, till there's no more. Okay, and then if you have multiple variables, always do the first letter first. So A is the boss here. Does that make sense? If that doesn't make sense, let me know. I can explain it more clearly if that was like confusing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so hopefully those of you that got it wrong, you're going, oh, right? Can I explain again? We're saying that we look at this polynomial. So let me erase all this. Right? And the rule is if I want it in standard form, If I want it in standard form, I got to go from highest exponent of my variable to the lowest exponent of my variable, right? Highest to lowest. Oh, wait. Highest to lowest. There we go. And so I look here and you're like, uh-oh, there's A's and B's. Which one do I focus on? Well, you focus on the letter that comes first. So what comes first? A or B? A. So that's what you're focusing on. You're only focusing on the A's, right? Only focusing on the A's. And the B just comes along for the ride. So now that's what we did. We looked at the highest A, so that's why we put a to the 4a to the third. Then the next highest A, 18a squared, a to the second. And then the next highest A, right? A to the first, 7ab. And then there's no more A's, so the B squared goes last. Okay. So you just go in order of the highest variable, the highest letter. Alphabetical order, right? So knowing that, let's look at number 3. We have X's and Y's. Which one is the boss here? Which one's the boss? X or Y? X. So we look at the X's. So we look at the X's, and there's an X, there's an X, there's an X, and that's it. So let's put those X's. So these last two, so you're thinking, okay, mister, what about these last two? How do I do these last two? Well, let's get to those. Let's do the X's first. So what's the highest X? This one right here, right? 9x cubed y. Okay. What's the next X? This one right here, x squared minus x squared. What's the next X? Oh, right here, x to the first. Plus, because that's a positive 5, plus 5xy squared. Okay, now, these don't have any X's, so now what order do we do? Well, what did I say before? What did I always say? What always goes last if you have it? What always goes last? Last. Can't even talk today. The number. If you have a solo number, which is called a constant, a number is called, a solitary number is called a constant. We say in math, that's the constant, right? Because it stays the same. Constant means the same. Variable means changing. So we do the y next. And some of you are like, what? Some of you are like, pfft. Some of you are like, hold on. Do I have it here? Where is it? Right? So you're saying variable means changing. That's why that letter X or Y or A or B, it changes. That's why they call it variable. And constant means stays the same. That's why a number is a constant, because it never changes. Oh my God. Yes. So we do minus y to the fourth. And then last would be my constant, would be my number. All right. Any questions? Is it all clear now? That's just standard form. And it's not the end of the world if you can't put things in standard form. It's just something that we like. It's a little housekeeping, we call it, right? When we combine like terms, that's housekeeping. We want things to look nice and neat and tidy, so we put in standard form. We want them to look the same, so we want to compare two different polynomials. If they're in the same order, it's easier to compare. If it's a mess, if everything's all over the place. So that's why I tell you, these mathematicians get together and they come up with these standards, and we want to do standard form, and this is what we're going to do. And yes, Johnson, what do you think? And I think we should put the highest exponent first. Oh, that's great. Let's write that down, right? So they get together. But one of the good reasons to put them in an order, right? An order is so you can compare. So it's nice and neat. It's nice and cleaned up. So if we had a name for this from the highest exponent to the lowest exponent, we would call that descending order, right? So the exponents are in, and hopefully I can spell this correctly, the exponents are in descending order, which just means from high to low. Right? There's another way we can do this. There's someone, they had these mathematician meetings, right? And someone says, yes, Thompson, yes. I think, what if we went, excuse me. It hurts to do that voice. What if we went from the lowest one to the highest one? Is that an option? Is that an option? We'll put that under consideration, Thompson. Let's write that in the notes. All right, meeting adjourned. So if you wanted to write it in opposite order, that would be called. Oh, doing that voice hurt my throat. That would be called. Excuse me. That would be called ascending order, from low to high. And we usually don't do it that way, but you can. You can do it from the constant and then go all the way up to your highest exponent. But we usually do it descending order, high to low. Okay, so you'll see these words sometimes. Put your polynomial in descending order. That just means from the highest exponent to the lowest. Put your polynomial in ascending order, lowest to highest. Okay. All right, so now we know how to put them in standard form. So now let's give some names to things. Yeah, I know a lot of you like, I know a lot of people in your generation are like, we don't like to put labels on things, mister. That's like classifying people, and that's racist. I understand that, but we do classify things in math. Okay, racist, numberist. All right, so we're gonna classify. We're gonna classify these things by degree and by the number of terms. Okay, so the degree, that means the highest exponent you have. So like, if we go here, if I have a degree of 0, that means, if I have a degree of 0, that means like 3x to the 0. Well, anything to the 0 power, I don't know if you know this, anything to the 0 power is 1. So 3x to the 0 is really 3 times 1, right? Which is just 3. Anything to the 0 power means the exponent is 0, so that just turns into a number 1. So anything to the 0 power is just a constant, right? A constant. Because there is no variable on the, there's no exponent on the variable. There's a 0 on the variable. Variable turns into a 1. It's just a number. So degree 0 is a constant, like right here, number 6. See number 24? There is no variable. So it really is 24 like x to the 0. Well, this just means 1. Anything to the 0 means 1. So right here, if you have a degree of 0, it's a constant. All right, what if you have a degree of 1? What if you have a degree of 1? So like this, like 6x plus 2. See that? My exponent is 1. Well, what kind of function is that? What kind of equation is that? When I graph that, what do I get? Anyone remember? When I graph y equals 6x plus 2, that's slope-intercept form, isn't it? That's x to the first power. So if I have a variable to the first power, that is linear, right? That is a linear. Right? Constant just looks like this. It's constant. It's the same number. It's actually not even that. It's just this. It's just a point. Okay, so what if I have second degree, something like this, x squared plus 6x minus 5. So what if I have a second degree polynomial? What if the degree is 2? What kind of function is that? It's not linear. If I graph it, it's not a line. It's not a point. It's not just a number. What is it? It's that Q word. It starts with a Q. Right? If my x is to the first power, it's linear. If my x is to the second power, it is I just hear crickets. Nobody knows that Q. It starts with a Q. I'll even give that to you. It starts with a Q. And it even looks like this. The last 2 days, you graphed these kinds of functions, and it looks like that. It looks like a parabola. Quadratic. Yay. Yay, you got it. Right? So if you see the second power, the x to the second power, you know it's a quadratic, you know you're going to get a parabola. If you see x to the first power, you know it's going to be a line. It's linear. All right, what if you see a third power? Excuse me, something to the third power, like 5x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x plus 9. So if I saw a polynomial like this and the third power, the graph actually looks like this. Does anyone know? Now, I haven't taught you this. So you would be guessing. But third power would be, any guesses? Crickets again? Nobody even wants to take a chance? No one wants to dance with their fear? Dance with their... Okay, I'll tell you what it starts with. It starts with a C. If you see a function to the third power, it is a... Come on, just someone guess, and then I can tell you. Just let me get at least one guess. Quadratic with the C. Someone said quadratic. Okay. I like that. I like your guess, but no. Ooh, someone said a cube equation. You are so close. Curve. Okay, it is curvy, right? But the cube equation is so close. It is called a cubic. Cubic. So close, very close. All right, so what do we call something to the fourth degree? This is something we really don't use. So if you had something like 7x to the fourth plus 3x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5x minus 13, right? The fourth power is the highest. This is called quartic, and the graph looks like this, or like this. I don't know if you notice, but first power, it just goes one direction. Second power, it goes two directions, right? It goes down, then up. Third power goes up, then down, then up. Or it can go down, then up, then down. It goes three directions. A quartic to the fourth power goes up, then down, up, then down, then up, then down. It goes four different directions. Or down, then up, then down, then up. So what do you think a fifth power polynomial would do? A fifth degree polynomial would do something like negative. Let's do an example. Negative 3x to the fifth minus 10x to the fourth plus 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 10. There's a fifth. Does anyone want to guess? Well, let me show you the picture. It would turn 5 times, right? It would go like that, right? It would turn 5 times. Up, then down, then up, then down, then up, right? We don't say this, but it would be called, and this is very usually, we usually don't use this word, but it's called a quintic. Quintic. Okay. Looks like the economy. Yeah, going back up. Oh my God. Did anyone or any of your family members invest in GameStop the last couple of days? If you haven't, you should read up on that. It's very interesting. A bunch of people, regular old people, tried to bankrupt a hedge fund by putting money into GameStop and AMC and I think BlackBerry and Nokia. But GameStop was the big one. It went up huge. People made lots of money. And the reason they did this is because, well, really quick, and it's so mathy. That's why I like this article. So look it up. Look up GameStop and the hedge fund and the people that are investing. So there's these people, and I don't understand it 100% completely, but there's these investors that invest in futures. Okay, what that means is they invest on what they think is going to happen, right? And so they do something called they do short sale. I don't know exactly what that means, but they They borrow some stocks, and then they're going to resell them thinking that the price is going to go down, right? And I don't know exactly the inner workings and how this works, but that's what these hedge funds do. They basically bet on the future. They're like saying, we think this is going to go down. And so they put money into that. And if it goes down, they make money, right? So they resell it, and they sell. It's called selling short, and then they make a whole bunch of money. Well, a lot of investors thought GameStop, AMC, and some other ones they invested that they're going to drop, right? So what a bunch of people got together on Reddit and said, hey, let's mess with them. Let's all invest in this so the price goes up. So these people that are betting that they're going to go down, they're going to lose a whole bunch of money, and it's going to go up. And then they're going to panic sell. These people that are losing money are going to go, oh, this hedge fund's going to panic sell, and they're going to sell it, and it's going to drive the price even higher, and we're going to make money really fast. And that's what happened. Like AMC was like $2 the other day, and then it went up $2 a share, and then it went up to like 19.20. It went down today. And I think GameStop went up to over $347 a share, and I think it started like at 15 or 16, and it just boom, just spiked up, and so people made a whole bunch of money. And I think my son told me this morning that hedge fund did go bankrupt. So like they were trying to stick it to the corporation, stick it to the man. So that was pretty cool. So if you're interested in that, look it up. Look up GameStop, and then Google GameStop, and then look at the news, and you'll see a bunch of articles about that. Very interesting. Very interesting. And if you're wondering, did I try to invest? Did I try to buy some stock last night in GameStop? The answer is yes. Yes, I did. When I went to sleep, I bought $100 worth of, because you can buy a partial share. So I bought $100 of GameStop, but then I woke up, and the app that I used, they canceled my order because there was too much volatility, too much going on. So they stopped a whole bunch of people from buying, which is kind of sus. All right. Anyway, so that's how we call different polynomials with different degrees. If there's no degree, it's constant. First power, right? The power of 1 is linear. Second power is quadratic. Third power is cubic. And that's usually as far as we go. But if you can go beyond that, a fourth power polynomial is called a quartic, and a fifth power polynomial is called a quintic. Okay? So now that's one way to classify polynomials. There's a second way. How many terms does it have? How many terms does a polynomial have? They have some special names. Not too many. Not too many. They're all called polynomials. So all of these are called polynomials. Right? They're all polynomials because poly means many. Okay? Poly means many. And so what if I have one term? What if I have a polynomial that has one term? That's called monomial. It's still a polynomial. These are all polynomials, but if it has one term, we just call it a monomial. Oh, that voice messed me up earlier. What do we call it if it has two terms? So let me show you examples on the side, because some of you want to see examples. So monomials, an example is like 7 or 5x or negative 3x squared, right? Those are 10ab, right? Those are all monomials. If I have two terms, what do you think? Instead of mono means 1. What means 2? What means 2? Bi. And so we call it a binomial. Example of binomials. And usually we put binomials together in parentheses. X plus 5. That's a binomial. W minus 8. That's a binomial because it has two terms. 3x squared plus 9. That's a binomial. Okay. What do you think 3 terms is called? You guessed it. Woohoo! You guessed it. It is a trinomial, right? And that's what we were seeing in with our quadratics, like x squared plus 6x minus 10, or 3x squared plus 5x minus 9, or negative 10x squared minus 5x plus 34. Those are all trinomials because they have 3 terms. And anything 4 and above Anything 4 and above, there's no special. I mean, you can say quadrinomial, you can give some fake names, but those are the 3 common ones you'll see: monomial, binomial, trinomial. And anything beyond that, we just call basic polynomials. But these are all actually polynomials. Okay. So now what I'd like you to do, and since we're not going to finish this lesson today, the homework will be due tomorrow. Okay. We'll finish the lesson tomorrow. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to do 4 through 11. Do these examples, 4 through 11. I'll do 4 for you. I want you to classify it by degree and terms. So if I look here, number 4, what's the degree of number 4? The degree is 1, right? You see it has to the first power, right? So the degree is 1. So this is a linear, right? It's linear. And how many are there? There's 2 of them. So it's a linear binomial. Okay, so I just want you to tell me the word for the degree and tell me the word for how many terms it has, and that's what it is. So if you look here, this is a quintic, because it's to the 5th power. A quintic trinomial, because there are 3 terms. Okay, so do 4 through 11. I did 4 and 5 for you. Do 4 through 11, please. And I will give you... Well, do as many as you can in the next 2 minutes because I know we are running out of time and I don't want to keep you like I did last time. So I'll give you 2 minutes. See how many you can do in 2 minutes. And, oh, some people wrote in the chat. Okay. In my history class, we have to keep track of a company and its stocks, and you truly see a difference in just one day. Yes. Yes. Is that Mr. Garcia's class? Mr. Back when COVID started, I was looking into stocks and I told my brothers to buy at least $5,000 worth of this stock called Penn National Gaming, but they didn't listen to me. Fast forward to now, it's worth $110 a stock. Oh, wait, how much was it? It was worth $7 a stock when you told them. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. I wish you would have told me. I would have bought, maybe not 5,000, but I would have bought. Oh my God. So let's do the math. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I thought you had your notes open, but it's okay. If you don't, it's okay. So there you go. So, oh my gosh. So let's do the math on that. So it went from $7 to $110. Oh, this. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes. So it went from 7 to 110. So it grew 15 times. So that means if they would have invested $5,000, they would have $78,571.43 right now. Their $5,000 would be $78,000 right now. Oh my goodness. All right, I need a stock tip from you. What's hot right now? And how did you know that was a hot one? Yeah, see, that's how rich people get rich. They invest. They don't go to casinos and stuff and do that kind of gambling. They invest based on what they think is gonna grow, right? That is insane. That's crazy. All right, time is up. Time is up. So here's what we're gonna do. Class is almost over. We are gonna go over these tomorrow on tomorrow's show. So tune in tomorrow for the answers. Well, if you see another stock, let me know, because since they didn't do my orders on Robinhood, I have some money in my account, so I can invest in other stuff. So the homework is not due today. I will change the due date. The homework is not due today because we didn't finish. We still have to do this, add, subtract, and multiply. So we got to go over all this. Okay. So no, homework is not due tonight. It might be due during the weekend. To give you more time. Might even be due Monday. We'll see how far we go tomorrow. All right, guys. Well, take care. Finish up 6 through 11. We'll go over the answers tomorrow. Then we'll talk about adding, subtracting, and multiplying tomorrow. Okay. Take care, everyone, and have a great day. Have a this kind of day, right? Yeah. Not a this kind of day. 4+ terms are called polynomials. We just call them polynomials. There's no all of them are called polynomials, but there's no special names for anything 4+. Good question. Good question. So they're all polynomials, but anything above 3, we really don't have special names for them. I mean, you could say a quadrinomial, quintinomial. Right. Just because those are based on the degrees. Based on the degrees. The number of terms, we don't go beyond 3 usually. And even the quartic and the quintic over here, this 4th degree and 5th degree, we usually don't use those words either. Those are very, very rarely used. All right. Take care, everyone. See you tomorrow.